John Molina?
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Hey,
yeah,
how's it
going,
doing, John Molina? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Cornerman Radio.
Cool, awesome. I appreciate you guys having me.
Oh, definitely, man. It's definitely an honor, man. But let's get into it, man. What's been going on with John Molina? What you been doing?
You know, in the gym, staying ready. We're going to be fighting. We'll be getting an announcement pretty soon here. You know, I just opened my own spot, my own private gym, real close to my house, real close, so make everything real convenient. So it's going to be real comfortable.
Okay. You're still training with, what's his name, man? He was with your last two fights?
Saluki. Saluki's a great trainer, but the location is what was killing me. People don't realize that each camp I was driving 100 miles a day to go train, and that takes a lot out of you. So I offer for them to come out this way, and if we can make that work with him coming out this way, that's fine, but I can't stop my train from going. I got to continue training. There's a lot of great trainers out here in L.A. as opposed to the Valley, and so we're gonna make an announcement real soon here.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask you, man, are you going to stay at 140 or are you moving up to the welterweight division?
I believe, you know, I've been talking with my team, and I can still make the 140 given the right time for the fight. But with my heart's at 147. I want to go up to 47.
147. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Definitely, man. Did you get to see the fights last night?
Oh, of course. I mean, before I'm a fighter, I'm a fan as well. So yeah, of course I got to watch the fight.
Oh, okay. What was your take on it?
I think the right guy won. I don't believe the fight was as close as some of the judges had it. I think Thurman had a comfortable margin. There were times where Danny showed, you know, his grit and his will, and he did well, but there's nothing to hang his head about. I mean, he put up a great performance. Thurman was the true welterweight, and I think he beat him. I think he beat him a little more decisive than what the scorecards had it.
Oh, okay. So you say your announcement coming up soon. So you have an opponent in mind, or you just know the fight date?
I know the date will be coming up soon. As far as opponent goes, there's a lot of names out there that I would love to mix it up with. You know, I'm not one of those guys that ever picks and chooses on who we're mixing it up with. You know, I'm one of those easier guys that, you know, let's get it on. We want to fight everybody, so everything's got to make sense, and then we'll get the fight done.
Well, here it is, man. My boy, Adrian Granados, man, he's been calling you out, man. He's been calling you out on Ellie Satback, Yes News. He called you out on our show. We even did a little prediction fight video on the fight. Man, Granados been calling you out, man. He really want that fight with you.
With all due respect to Granados, you know, I didn't know about him up until recently. But recently, like I said, I watched the fight with Broner, and he's not a bad fighter. He's actually a really gutsy fighter, a come-forward fighter, and kind of reminds me of myself in certain elements, in the fact that he comes forward and is willing to fight anybody. So I can appreciate that. So I think he's a good fighter. Nonetheless, he's a good fighter. I'm sure.
Who would you in the near future willing to fight him?
If he keeps doing what he's doing, I'm sure there's going to be a day where me and him are going to mix it up. Whether it be now, I mean, I'm on board. Whether it be later, I'm on board. It's all irrelevant, but he's definitely a respectable fighter, very respectable fighter.
Right. And you know what's so crazy, man? I feel like, in my opinion, I think you and Granados would be such a holy fucking war to me. Like, it would be the fight of the year, in my opinion. Just like you and Ruslan had a great fight last year.
I don't think you'll have to find neither one of us. I think we're both going to be there and bang it out. He showed some pretty good skill against Broner, and it was a good fight. Although, I mean, I think the right guy won that fight, but he put up a hell of a fight.
Okay.
I think the right guy won the fight. That's not a knock on Granados. I think you know, everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own perspective of each fight that they watch. And it was a close fight. I think Granados brought the fight to him, and Adrian did what he had to do to be victorious that night. But I think it wasn't a lose situation for Granados. I think it kind of put his name out there, because when you say Adrian Granados before that, granted he did fight decent opposition, not great opposition, but decent opposition. He was kind of the unknown. So this fight was kind of a better fight for him to get his name out there. And I think if he keeps going that direction, he's going to get the fights that he wants.
You know what I was so surprised about him? I don't mean to talk about him that much, but he beat Soto Carras in the BKB. I was so surprised on that one. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't see, but I was surprised.
I didn't see
surprised.
that fight. I didn't see the fight, but the fact that he beat Soto Carras, actually speaks volumes of him, because Soto is a blood and guts fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And that just shows Granados is he's a good fighter. He's not a slouch by any stretch of the imagination. He's a good fighter. He's a respectable fighter. I think if he keeps going in the direction he's going to be there, he's going to get the fights that he wants.
Definitely, man. Boxing Night, my co-host probably want to ask you a couple questions. Boxing Night?
What's up, John, bro? Yo.
How you doing, man?
Good, man. I really appreciate you coming on, bro. Enjoy plenty of your fights, man. Mickey Bay, Ruslan, the Matisse Fight of the Year. So thank you for those, bro. And,
no problem, man. I love to do what I do.
Yeah, so, I heard you saying you're going up to 147. I think you versus Algieri, or the winner of Victor Ortiz and old boy Bam Bam, that would be, I don't know how close you are with those guys, but I think that would be some good fights for you at 147. What you think?
There's a lot of fights at 47 that I like.
Yeah.
I like a fight between myself. Omar Figureroa is out of his mind if he thinks he's getting anywhere near 140. I don't think he's going to go to 140 ever again.
You know what's so funny? Since you brought him up, he was on our show last week, and we forgot to ask him about
he wants
to fight
him
at
140, man. He wants to fight at 140.
That's the fight that's been that's been talked about for years, but he's been kind of tiptoeing around that. I think Joel Diaz wants to get one back at me since I beat him so decisively with Ruslan Provodnikov. And, but like I said, he's out of his mind if he thinks he's going to touch the scales anywhere near 140. I don't foresee it happening. And if he does, it's going to be bad for him because it's going to be a make-weight camp. It's not going to be a let's get ready for a fight camp.
Yeah.
Even with those names, there's Robert Guerrero, myself. There's I would love to fight Brandon Rios. That's a fight that I really, really, really want. If Victor Ortiz and him can't come to terms and make that fight happen, I don't know if they have already. I think it's been in limbo for some time. But if that's a fight, if they're looking for somebody, as far as if they're anxious to get into a fight right away, I would definitely love to fight Brandon Rios. I think he's a great fighter. It's a fight that was supposed to happen at lightweight years back, and I think at 47 would be a good fight. I would definitely love to mix up with someone like Timothy Bradley at 47, who had a great fight with Provodnikov as well. So there's a lot of names out there that I think the fans will get excited about for fights like that.
That's what's good,
man. Hey, John,
are
you signed with Al Heyman?
Yes, I've been with Al Heyman for a while now.
Okay, the reason why I asked, because I was very surprised that Bob Arum and you and Al Heyman did the Crawford and your fight. I was very shocked. Very shocked.
Well, that was a good thing. That was usually a good thing because the two entities need to work together, because there is some good fighters over on the other side of the aisle, if you want to call it, with Top Rank, and and over here at Heyman we got all the best. So, eventually we're all going to mix it up and make it happen. But yeah, it was a good thing that definitely the two parties could come together and come to terms and make the fights happen, because that's what we're all signed up for. No, I don't like to think that everyone signed up to avoid fighters. I think we all want to fight the best.
Definitely. What's your favorite welterweight matchup you're looking forward to now that the Brooks Spence, the Porter Berto, or Pacquiao Khan? Which one you're most excited about?
Out of those three that you mentioned, I think it's a no-brainer. Earl Spence and Brooks is going to be a hell of a fight. I think that's going to be a great, great fight. I think it's either going to be a coming-out party, but for Spence, which I think he's the real deal. I think he's good. I think he's a big welterweight. I think his days at welterweight are very numbered. I think he has a limited few fights left at welterweight, given the fact that he's such a big guy at 147. But and then also you have Berto and Porter, who are both good friends of mine, and that's an interesting fight because you have Andre Berto, who is always in a good fight, but he has problem with those pressure fighters. And Sean Porter is a hell of a pressure fighter and a strong guy. He's not stylistically or technically the best guy, technically wise. He gets in there and he makes fights rough. And that's what Berto usually has problems with. So that's going to be interesting to see because they're both explosive. They're both strong. And I think it's a hell of a matchup. And that's an even fight. As far as Amir Khan and Manny Pacquiao, I think it's the right time for Amir Khan to fight someone like Pacquiao. Personally, I think he'll have the edge and the speed. And I think he'll have the edge and the youthfulness. Pacquiao did look good his last outing, but with that being said, I still think if I'm going to side with someone on that fight, I'm going to side with Amir Khan.
Yeah, that'll be a big win for his career, man. That'll be a solidifier. I mean, he gave us a lot of wars, and dude's got big balls and heart, man. If
Pacquiao could beat Amir Khan, that would be a great win for him. But I really feel that in my heart of hearts that Amir Khan will be victorious that night.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that too. I could. Pacquiao, it's hard to win rounds against Amir Khan, man. Even with Pacquiao's speed, it'll be interesting to see, the speed game in that. That'll be high speed chess, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Amir Khan could be timed though. Pacquiao can time his ass coming in.
Well, I'm not taking anything away from Pacquiao. I think he has the punch, and we all know Amir Khan's Achilles heel is that chin. So once he gets hit, it could be the change of the fight on a dime. But with that being said, you got to also respect the hand speed and the technician that Amir Khan is.
I could see him getting knocked down against Pacquiao, but getting up in that type of. I know his legs usually don't recover well, but I could see him being a close scorecard because of that. For him winning some rounds, I'm excited for all three of them fights. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I'm glad to hear that you're going to 147, man. Sounds like you got a game plan. You got your new gym, and all the best of luck to you, man. Pretty much. I appreciate
that, man. I appreciate that. I really do, and I appreciate you guys taking the time out and getting this interview in, and keep doing what you're doing. It's good for you guys to get all the fight interviews and get the fans excited about all these fights coming up.
Man, thank you, man. It's definitely an honor, John Molina, having you on.